Thank you, Hope, for inviting us and Kellogg to come and talk to you today. It's been a great conference so far. I learned a lot this morning. I hope you all have too. I'm excited to learn more this afternoon. And I'm really excited to talk to you guys today about our partnership with Amazon and Feeding America and the first online food drive that we all did together. But first, before I go into it, it'd be remiss if I didn't explain why this is important to the company, why this work is really part of who we are. And so Kellogg, as you know, most of you hopefully have had our products over the years, our foods. We've been around for more than 110 years. And really what we're doing is we're a company that leads with purpose. And it all started with our founder, W.K. Kellogg. He was an early conservationist, he was a philanthropist, and today his legacy lives on within all of us and how we approach our business. And I share this because we have a new CEO, started a year ago, and he felt that this work, when he understood the work that we've been doing over the years in terms of giving back to communities, giving back to the planet, and helping to embed purpose into the business, he said, yes, of course, why wouldn't you? This is absolutely makes sense. And so he built it into our what we call our Deploy for Growth strategy. And how this work comes to life is the purpose piece of it is really through our heart and soul, which is what we call our heart and soul. And it's the 4 boosters that you see down here. So it's nourish with our foods, feed people in need, nurture our planet, and live our founders' values. And we believe that we cannot be successful unless we are embedding that and it's foundational to the business. And so it is baked into literally how we go about doing all of our work across all of our pillars here. So you probably heard the stat. There are more than 820 million people that face food insecurity in the world, globally. Here in the United States, that means it's 1 in 9 Americans and 1 in 6 children. So that's every 1 in 6 children don't know where their next meal is going to come from. That's pretty staggering. And at Kellogg, of course, being a leading global food company, we believe that we play a very important role into helping to address that. And we're laser focused on addressing that. And so what we wanted to do was really, how do we make feeding people in need more accessible to the masses? We do global food drives all the time, around the country, around the world. We have regions in Asia Pacific, Europe, Latin America, and in Canada. And we do a tremendous amount of food donations to food banks around the globe. But we really got a lot of feedback from colleagues, from other employees that said, this is so wonderful, but I really want to take part in it, but I'm not nearby where the food bank is located. I'm not by where the meal drop-offs are. How else can I get involved? And we were like, that is a really, really great point. How do we make it more accessible to more people? So that's when we obviously tapped on the shoulder of Amazon, leading largest online retailer, and Feeding America, which is the leading and largest food banking network here in the US. And for the first time, we came to them and said, how do we do this? How can we make this more accessible to the masses? And so we decided that we would ask them and partner them and say, let's do something online with the food drive through your platform. And so we started by saying to Amazon, of course, was very excited about this idea. We've got shoppers that are already on there, and we are now then giving them an opportunity to hop over and participate in a food drive while they're already in a one-stop shop of where they're shopping and how they can make a donation pretty easily. But we wanted to make sure that we were driving the greatest impact. So if you've ever been part of a food drive or have held one, oftentimes people are trying to clear out their cabinets and try to find something that they can then immediately get to the food banks. But we wanted to make sure that we were getting the most impact for them. So oftentimes what we learned when we talked with Feeding America is that food banks aren't always receiving enough of those critical items that are going to help enable families to put nutritious meals on the table. So we asked them, the experts, tell us what they need. And so we worked with them, and they came up with a list of the 10 items that food banks need most. Of course, cereal, as you can imagine, appeared up on the list, but a variety of other categories did as well. Pasta, peanut butter, canned tuna, canned chicken, and rice. And so we took this and said, okay, well, we're going to create our master wish list for these food banks. And then we went to Feeding America and said, okay, let's work with you all and figure out which food banks that we can host this online food drive with across the country. So we partnered with 12 of their food banks, and we created the platform, which was really a way to simplify the path to donation. So we took that master wish list, we partnered with the 12 food banks, and we created wish lists for each of those food banks so that people could click to the nearest food bank to them and be able to make that donation to benefit their community. And it was really set up in a way where it was a quick click, ship, and donate model. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it, but I really would like to show you the video because it does a great job of setting up what the challenge is, how easy it is, and what the real impact is to the end person.
Nothing.
Okay, so the moment in time that we chose to launch the program is World Food Day, which is in October. It's a global moment in time where there is a lot of conversation digitally and around the world about the issue of food insecurity. And we held that, it was a month-long program, and we held it from that October 16th all the way through Giving Tuesday, which enabled us a few things, which was enable us to drive a lot of buzz and a lot of awareness leading up to that moment in time, and then also gather people when they're online looking to make those donations at Giving Tuesday. So this is what the website looked like. This is the landing page. So we worked with Amazon to create this program landing page. And you see it'll buzz down. So there's the click, ship, donate model. And then you scroll down, and then it listed each of the food banks that we were partnering with. You can see click in there, and it was really an easy way for people to access. Most folks are familiar with wish lists and how they work, so it was a really nice, familiar platform for the end consumer to be able to participate. And drill down to what community was nearest to them that they wanted to impact. So pretty easy and pretty simple, and we ended up, of course, supporting this with a wide variety of communications. So we had quite a robust communications plan in terms of news releases that went out. We promoted it in Times Square at that time. We did the video that went out on YouTube and all of the social channels. But then we also paired with the Feeding America at the national level, who helped to amplify the program on their channels. And more importantly, we did a really, we worked directly with the local food banks. They obviously have a really good connection within their own communities, so they help to amplify that through social and really get the buzz out and get people excited and really meaningful because it's so personally touching that community. News coverage overall delivered 350 million earned impressions. And then from on the other side of it, Kellogg also supported this with paid advertising through Amazon. So you can see we had a variety of banner ads that popped up on various pages throughout the platform, so that while you're shopping, you can quick jump over and then make a donation and feel good about what you're doing. And then here's some examples of some of the social posts that came out of the individual food banks. Throughout our social media and engagement and amplification, we generated 26 million impressions and 59,000 engagements. And then overall, the site itself, throughout all of that buzz and the advertising and whatnot, we reached 10 million unique customers that went to this page to be able to drive donations. Our video really had strong engagement, which was really telling. I know research has shown that 93% of consumers believe that if companies are doing well, they're doing good for society. And so we really felt that that video in itself shared that message of what the purpose was behind the business. And we had a really high engagement rate of 75% completion on the video. Of course, from an Amazon perspective, they saw traffic spike during this promotion time, and not just of Kellogg's, but of all the products that and food categories that were featured on the site. So it was a win-win for all. Because at the end of the day, and at the end of the promotion, we were able to donate 30,000 servings of foods to the food banks. So we were quite proud of that. And this is just some of the feedback that we received from some of the food banks. This was a first for all of us. It was a first for the food banks, the individuals that we worked with, for Amazon and ourselves. It was really a test and learn environment, and we got a lot of really good feedback that both the way that it was executed was, and the way that the donations that came in. We had some food banks that were receiving donations on a daily basis, which was really exciting to hear. And then also, the other part of it too is we've had a lot of folks that have asked us, are you going to be doing this again, and how can I get involved? Because we only started with the 12 food banks, and we had others ask, what else can we do so that we can be on that list as well? So, I think all of this has just to say that we can't do this alone. We really rely on strong partnerships through Feeding America and others in order to help us make a big difference. And so we're looking forward to this coming year and to see what else we might be able to do in the future. Thank you.